Hey there. Welcome to my favorite movie ever. Today we're here to talk about my favorite conjoined twins revenge murder mystery movie creature feature of 1982, Basket Case. In 1981, Frank Henenlotter was 31 years old and he wanted to make a movie. He had a hot, steamy passion just burning in his soul. And he was like, I heard you have to write what you know. And the only thing I know is that I had a conjoined twin that someone chopped off of my body and I just want it back and I'll murder anyone who would take my brother from me. He knew that in his soul. So he made this movie with his whole life savings. That first part was wrong. This part is right. He had $16,000 at 31 years old, and he was like, "I'm gonna make a freaking movie." So he set off, and he was like, I got this." And he wrote a script. He got people together, very small crew together, and he went around New York, guerrilla filmmaking, and just made a movie. And the movie he made is the best movie ever. If you haven't seen Basket Case, I can't recommend it enough, especially if you like independent horror comedies with like violent, like fun, murdery tendencies. If you're into that kind of thing, this is a must-see sort of movie. So this movie is about Dwayne, who is now 20 years old ish, and he carries around a basket. He lives to lift. He's can't afford a gym or whatever, so he just lifts this basket all the time. But it turns out in this basket is his brother. It's weird to say that if it's a conjoined twin, like it is you. It's part of him. It's part of him. He carries around his second head and arms, his other arms. It's a potato with arms. It's a lumpy basketball with arms and teeth and claws and red eyes, and it can talk to him telepathically. This movie is incredible, and you should watch it. So this brother, the Quado that he carries around in the basket, is named Belial, which is also the name of the devil and or a demon, and it's very interesting that they do that because most of the time Belial seems to just be the thing that leads Dwayne on this rampage of murder and just debauchery throughout the movie. It's odd that he carries around this this awful monster in a basket with him, and he seems to be this like wonderful, sweet, just gentle, whistly, caring soul who just loves his brother and he misses him and he wants to be reattached somehow, but they can't afford duct tape even though they have a bunch of money. Anyway, Henenlotter made this movie, and it is about these two brothers who are going on a Kill Bill-esque murderous revenge rampage through New York to take out the doctors that would freaking separate them. And they do it. One after another, they go through the town killing these doctors, and it is hilarious and it is wonderful and it is beautiful. It contains some of the most ridiculous death scenes of all time, and one of, if not the greatest monster reveal in the history of cinema. There is a scene in which they're about to kill, I believe, their second doctor, and this man sees the lights go off in one room and he's like, I gotta go check it. This is a horror movie. It's in the script. I'm gonna go see what's going on in that darkness. When he flips that light on, the thing staring back at him is just freaking perpendicular to the floor, just like sideways, like completely Spider-Man and ready to murder. Teeth just dripping with goose, and he's just screams. And it is my favorite thing in the movie, or it's one of my favorite things in the movie. I have so many favorite things. This movie is full of just love, and it oozes with every 5 minutes or so. You're just like, oh yeah, it's gonna ooze some more, as this creature just loves to put his palms, his greasy, gross jelly palms, just on people's faces, and that's how he murders you. And it's splendid. You get to watch some of the best murders committed to celluloid ever. Not to mention, this movie is a multimedia masterpiece. It is just chock full of different techniques. You should see the incredible use, just Ray Harryhausen's use of stop motion in this movie will leave you breathless, to say the least. It is the best, and I will stand by this forever. It is my favorite. There's a scene in which Belial moves around this hotel room. It's stop motion. It's very realistic. It's not realistic. It doesn't have to be. It's so funny and it's so good to see this, like how creative Henenlotter had to be to cut from the stop motion to the live action, as this character is just tossing things around this hotel room, and it is fantastic, and it's so well done, and you can see that this person was clearly working on a budget, but the limitations were just nothing and not going to stand in their way, and he was going to do whatever the hell it took to make his masterpiece and this very personal project about his brother. But I love this movie. I love every death scene in this movie. I love the ridiculous like love subplot. And you know what? I love the relationship between these brothers, although that it's clearly a toxic relationship, and they like Dwayne definitely should have just like, I hate to say, should have left Belial in that weird trash bag in the alley. By the way, there's a lot of exposition in this movie. There's so much backstory in this movie. They're like, oh, we're going to tell you everything and we're going to spell it out for you. And then when they do, you get to see that not only did they just like bifurcated these brothers, but they put one of them in a trash bag in an alley and didn't even have the decency to put him in the bin. They put him in a trash bag in the alley and left him. And they were just like, oh, no, he'll be fine. The raccoons will get him. That would have been a better movie. Oh my God. Belial became a Ninja Turtle. That would have been amazing. I mean, he does kind of act like a Batman. He has several superpowers in this movie that are not explained. It doesn't make sense at all. It is incredible. He has super strength, he is telepathic, and he can spider stick on walls. He also has good, cool, glowy eyes, which might have more abilities that we have to explore in Basket Case 2 and 3, because Henenlotter was incredible and kind enough to the universe to give us more of these movies. I love this movie. I love this movie so much, and I love Henenlotter so much. Not only did he give us the basket case 1, 2, and 3, but he also gave us freaking Brain Damage and Frankenhooker. And I can't thank him enough for existing. I feel like everything he touches is gold. He is just everything about filmmaking that I adore. I love. He cannot be stopped. He is the unstoppable force, and he is willing to do whatever it takes to make the movie that he wants to make. And I freaking love him for that. He is bold, and this movie is bold and original and fearless and ridiculous and fun and full of blood and guts and gore and absurdity and just nonsense and such creativity and fun ways to solve, every possible problem that could happen in filmmaking. And it just goes to show you that you can do a lot with a little if you believe in yourself, and if you believe in your project, and if you write what you freaking know. And Basket Case is bold and original and fearless, and it is everything that independent movies should be. It is full of heart and love, and just, you can see every penny on the screen that Frankenlotter could possibly scrounge up in those New York gutters, and I adore it. And that's why Basket Case is my favorite movie ever. So even though this was his directorial debut at 31 years old, Frank Henenlotter was not to be stopped. He made a ridiculous movie, trying to be funny when he could or scary when he could, and just experimenting and doing whatever he could figure out to do in the moment. And it worked, and it stood the test of time. And although yes, of course, it's not going to be for everybody, I freaking adore this movie. And in 2017, the Museum of Modern Art chose this specific conjoined twin revenge murder mystery horror comedy masterpiece to preserve and restore, so it will live forever for generations to come. And I believe it deserves it, because it's my favorite movie ever, and I hope you'll all watch it because it deserves all of the love in the world. But anyway, thank you all for watching this. Please like and subscribe. Make sure you share the video wherever you can, and I really appreciate it. Feel free to write some suggestions below. Let me know your favorite movie ever, and I would love to check it out. I watch a lot of movies. I'm going to be talking about a lot of my favorite movies here. Obviously, if you're like me, you have many favorite movies. It's kind of impossible to have just one, right? I have a lot of favorite movies. I know that's not what favorite means, but it's what favorite means when you're talking about movies, right? Obviously, you can't, because what else are you gonna do? You're like, oh, it's your favorite movie. Okay, well, what genre? And then what subgenre? And what freaking subgenre? And then what year? Which director? What do you? It's impossible. I have too many favorite movies, so I'm here to talk about every single one of them, and I'm going to share them all with you. And I hope you'll share all of your favorite movies with me, and you'll stick around with all these random videos. So thank you all for watching this. I really do appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.